the topic to you in a while. So I was saying that I'm going to talk about a nice topic today, and I want to keep you all the devotees keep guessing about it. What's the topic? So we'll do the prayers, then I'll tell you the topic. In the meantime, you can just guess what's the topic. Okay. All right, so let's do the prayers. Om Agyan Timiranda Sigananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right. So I want all of you to guess the topic for today. Okay. Well, I can say that maybe I can give a hint. Okay. The hint is it's one of the 9 ways of devotional service. Type in the chat. So I'm going to talk about something today which is one of the 9 ways of devotional service. Okay, what's that? Type in the chat. I hope you're able to chat. Yeah. Kirtan. Keep guessing. Not Kirtan. More guesses. Smaran. No. Not Smaran. Bhakti Yoga. No. Dasyam. No. This is something which we like very much. It's actually a part of our culture. It's a part of our Vedic culture. We love doing this activity. Okay, I'm giving you more hints. Okay, what is that devotional activity that you can do at your home as well as do it in a high energy center? Okay, in a congregation, in a certain place. So what is that devotional service that you can do here or there? Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Renuka Mataji got it right. So that is Archana. Archana or Puja. All right. So we're going to talk about that. So it's going to be a really interesting topic. It's like the deity worship. So what is the meaning of a deity? And what is this deity worship and why should we do it and who should do this deity worship? We will see all of that. So type in the chat DW, deity worship. All of you type in the chat DW. Hare Krishna. Okay, let's begin. All right. So here is the thing. The most fundamental question, why should we worship Lord Krishna? Why should we worship Lord Krishna? I mean, why should we worship the deity of Lord Krishna rather? Okay, the topic is not about why should we worship Lord Krishna and not others. That's not the topic today. The topic is why should we worship the deity of Lord Krishna? Here we go. How many of you remember in the beginning of 12th chapter, Arjuna asked one question to Lord Krishna. Okay, there was only it was like a one question. It was a direct question. In 2-3 verses he asks, 12.1, 12.2. And then Krishna answers that just one question for the rest of the chapter, of the 12th chapter. Who remembers that question? Type me in the chat if you remember that questions that Arjuna asks. What's that question that Arjuna asked? What did Arjuna ask in the 12th chapter? Arjuna asked to Lord Shri Krishna, what is better? Is it better to worship the personal form or the impersonal form? Okay, let's see that. Arjuna asked, which worship is better? Personal worship or impersonal worship? Okay, because there are some people who like to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead not like a person, but like an impersonal light. Impersonal light. So the response to Arjuna's question was very straight. Krishna said very straight this point. Okay, let me read this out. The Supreme Personality of God, it said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. How many of you want to become this, what Krishna is saying? What Krishna is saying, there are some people who are called most perfect, Mr. Perfect and most perfect, better. The most perfect people worship my personal form. Type me in the chat if you want to become the most perfect person in the universe. Type me in the chat. Okay. So what is the key that Krishna is saying here? Krishna is saying, worship my personal form. Simply fix mind on my personal form. And then if you engage in worshipping me with great transcendental faith, you'll be considered perfect. So type in the chat PF. PF doesn't stand for Provident Fund here. PF stands for personal form. Type PF in the chat. Okay. So even before we go to the 12th chapter, how many of you remember what did Krishna show to Arjuna in the 11th chapter? What did Krishna show to him? What was the form that he showed? Yeah, that's the universal form. Universal form, Virat Rupa. How does Virat Rupa look? How big is it? Virat Rupa, is it, just like how small kids do it? Is it this big? Big? This big? How big is that? This big? How big is that? This big? Infinite small, infinitely big, infinitely big, infinitely big. Okay, unimaginable. So Arjuna, he was not able to see, he was able to see Krishna everywhere in all directions, infinitely. Okay. I'll tell you something very interesting. So universal form is one form where Lord expanded and showed his material form of pervading the entire universe. That's fine. There was one more time when Lord Krishna, he expanded himself to such an extent that he was almost spanning across the entire universe, entire Brahmanda. Anybody knows what's that incarnation? What is that incarnation when Lord Krishna expanded from a small form of a dwarf to a gigantic form where he touched the ends of the universe, right? Vamana. So when Lord, he expanded himself so much, you see, we all know Jambavan, right? Jambavan, he was a very strong personality at that time. That was maybe in Satyuga. It was definitely not Treta, Satyuga. So at that point of time, Jambavan was very young. And you know what he did? He managed to circumambulate the entire body of the Lord. Okay, it's just like, just take a plane and go around the earth. Go around the earth. That's very big, isn't it? Now we are not talking about the size of an earth. We're speaking the size of the gigantic universe. So Jambavan, he could go around the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vamana. Okay, he could circumambulate. Okay. Jambavan could do it. Do you think you and me can do it? I mean, Lord is infinitely large. He is Virat Rupa, his universal form. But do you think, if I will ask you, okay, to go around one pradakshina, okay, if I say, okay, do one pradakshina of the earth, go around the world, one circle, will you be able to do that? Go around the equator, one circle and come back. We can't do it. So therefore, Lord Krishna, very mercifully for us, he accepts to take our service in the form of the Archa Vigraha. Archa Vigraha means he has conveniently come into a size which is in our dimensions. Okay, luckily it's in our dimensions so that it fits inside our house, right? So many times we say, I don't have space in my house. I don't have enough space. I don't have space for this. I don't have space for this. We always think about that, right? Space constraints. But then it's not universal form, but Lord has agreed to kindly come in a form which fits inside our house. God has agreed to come in a form which fits inside a temple. So that mortal, normal people like you and me, who are not like Jambavan, can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, can circumambulate him, Pradakshina. We can go around him conveniently, thankfully. All right? So, type in the chat, Archa Vigraha, AV, in the chat. Archa Vigraha is that form of the Lord, which is like in our dimensions, which accepts service. So Krishna, who is in the Goloka Vrindavana, who is in the heart of every living entity, who is also pervading all the universe, he is agreeing to take our service in this form. Okay? You know, the example for this is like this. You see the post office. How many of you used post office? Type me in the chat. There may be some millennials here or Generation Z who may not have used post office at all. But how many of you have used post office? Or how many of you used to have that post office outside your house? You know, we used to tie that post box. You know, outside the house also there's a box. Okay, that's a different kind of box. That's a receiving box, right? And there's another box which is kept almost in every street. That's called the post office. And you have to drop your letters there. And the postmaster would every day come and pick up the letters from there and he would send it to the destination. For somebody who doesn't understand this system, they would be surprised. A small kid would be surprised. Oh, this is magic. This is Santa Claus. What's going on? What is this magic? I'm putting a letter here and it's going to my grandfather who is staying in some other village. Okay. So, but then the system is that you put it inside an authorized post box. Remember, authorized. Authorized post box, you put the post and then it will be collected and it will be given to the destination. Similarly, if you don't put it in an authorized post box, what happens? Let's say there's a dysfunctional box. There is a dustbin box and I put my letter there. Will that go to the destination? Type in the chat. Yes, no. Yes or no? If I'm going to put a letter in a drop dustbin, is it going to go to destination? No, it's not going. You have to put it in the authorized post box. Archa Vigraha is like a post box. Type PB in the chat. Post box. You put the letter, it goes straight to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, you serve the Archa Vigraha, it goes straight to Krishna and Golok Vrindavan. How it does that? It's spiritual, not in my capacity to explain. Krishna arranged it such a way. It's Krishna's arrangement. Deity worship is not a superstition. Deity worship is mentioned in the Vedas. There's some people who are trying to propagate, trying to say that there's no deity worship in the Vedas. Absolutely wrong. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is busting this concept out of the window, saying very clearly, those who worship in my personal form with transcendental faith. When Krishna says worship me with transcendental form, what does Krishna mean by saying worship me? How can you worship Krishna? Can you see Krishna? Can anybody see Krishna? Is Krishna visible to eyes? No. Krishna is adhokshaja. That means he's not visible to the material eyes. Am I right? He's not visible to the eyes, right? So then, how do you worship Krishna? How are you going to offer? But then Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita something very interesting. I'll show you that. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachyuti tadaham bhaktya upagrutam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Now, what does that mean? If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Bhagavad Gita 9.26. Krishna is saying, if you offer me with love and devotion, a leaf. He's not asking for anything big. He's just asking for a leaf. Who can't get a leaf in their garden? Anybody. You can get a leaf. Right? Of course, preferably tulsi leaf. A flower. Who cannot get a flower? Who can't find a flower? Who can't afford to buy a flower? I mean, forget about buying. Who can find a flower? A fruit. Come on, water. It's so simple. Krishna is saying, I will accept. Now tell me, how many of you would like to offer to Krishna? Krishna is saying, give me, I will take it. How many of you want to offer it? Type me in the chat. If you want to offer this, Krishna is saying, I'm ready to take it. How many of you are ready to give it? That's the question. He's not asking anything big here. He's asking, what is he asking? One tulasi leaf, one leaf, one flower, one fruit, little bit of Ganga water. Okay? And Krishna is saying, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. I will take it. Imagine if Krishna takes that one thing that we offer, what would happen to us? If Krishna accepts one little offering that I give, and Krishna takes that, my life shall become perfect. Right? Type perfect in the chat. Our life shall become perfect. If Krishna accepts whatever we give, if Krishna accepts it, we become perfect. Because whatever we are saying, it's mine, it's not even mine, isn't it? If I say that this is my fruit, I bought this fruit, it's just a social convention that I'm saying this is my house, my fruit, my flower, my tree. But remember, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Everything is his. Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam. Everything belongs to God. Everything belongs to Krishna. Nothing belongs to us. In fact, we belong to him. And the nature belongs to him. So the supreme material nature is his. And then we have taken a loan from him. And then we are offering it back to him. And then saying, I gave you. This is not correct. So that's why it's just like, you see, sometimes parents, they bring sweets house, right? How many of you bring sweets to house? You know, the father brings a sweet box and gives it to the small child. And the small child says, Papa, Papa, please come. You eat first. And then he takes one sweet and puts in the mouth of the father. The father becomes very happy. It's not that the father cannot buy the sweets himself. It's his money. He can buy as many sweets as he wants. But that one sweet, which is given by the little boy with love, is a special one, which the father doesn't find that special if he buys it himself. How many of you agree with that? Agree. Type agreed in the chat if you agree with what I'm saying. That if a child offers the sweet brought by the father back to the father is very happy. Krishna has given us everything. Everything belongs to Krishna. But if we take one sweet out of what we have got so many sweets with us. We've got so much with us. If we take a little bit and give it back to Krishna and say, Father, take it, Krishna will be very happy. All right. So that's the fundamental principle of service. This is the reason why we should worship Lord Krishna in the personal form. All right, let's go to the next one. So who should worship the deity of Lord Krishna? Now let's see that. Who should worship? Who should not worship? Is there any restrictions, or is there any recommendation that should the brahmacharis worship, or should the renunciates worship? Who should worship? According to you, just type in the chat. Let me just see. Who do you think should worship? Should the brahmacharis worship or the grihasthas worship? or sannyasis worship? I mean, if I ask you to pick only one, let's say, if I say just pick one, whom would you think? Pick. I'll say pick one. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. Brahmacharis are in the Guru ashram. Grihastha are in their house. Vanaprasthas are retired people. Sannyasis are renounced people. Who should be worshipping the deity of Lord Krishna? That's absolutely right. That's Grihastha. You know the reason why? The brahmacharis, they are in the ashram, they are serving the guru. The vanaprasthas, they're getting ready to get renounced, the retired people. The sannyasis who are renounced, they're not supposed to be sitting at one place. They're supposed to be disseminating spiritual knowledge, preaching by traveling. Grihastha cannot travel and preach. A sannyasi can travel and preach. That's why they're called Parivrajakaacharya. You know, they travel all around India. They used to travel all around the world. Also, Prabhupada went all around the world. Like Guru Maharaj, he's like he's got the world record. Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, he's got a world record of most flight person on the world. I mean, he's got the most number of miles by any human being. He's traveled so much around the world because his guru, Prabhupada, instructed him after giving him sannyas that you travel around the world and preach. Don't stop. Just keep traveling and preaching. So he used to be traveling and preaching. So in the morning, he'll be in one continent. In the afternoon, he'll be in the another continent. In the night, he'll be in another continent. So that is Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Okay, very interesting. You see, after his brain stroke, his traveling reduced or increased? Type in the chat. After his brain stroke in 2008, okay, he was paralyzed and he became stuck to the wheelchair. So after that, 2008, has his traveling reduced or increased? Give a guess. Yeah, that increased. So that is surprising. Spiritual personalities we cannot understand. Okay, it increased many-fold. So he'd start traveling much more. Okay, so coming back to the topic, Grihasthas are expected to be doing the deity worship. Let's see more about it. Especially the householders. So here is a principle. A householder should earn money for what? Let's see that. Okay, the householders should do what? Worship deity at home, observe the festivals, invite friends and give prasada. What does that mean? See, we have to worship deity at home. Okay, we should have a deity at home and we should worship the deity. That's number one. Number two, observe festivals. Can you type in the chat? What are the festivals? Type some of the Krishna conscious festivals that you remember. Type in the chat. Let me see. How many of you know the most important Krishna conscious festivals? Janmashtami, Hari Bol. Krishna Janmashtami, Hari Hari Bol. Okay, what else? We recently had one. Gaura Purnima, Gauranga, Hari Bol. Yeah, Damodar month, Kartik month. Yeah, perfect. Kartik Mas. Narsimha, what is it? Narsimha Chaturdasi. Right? Rama Navami. Correct? Balaram Purnima. Tulsi Viva. Govardhan Puja. So many of them. Shall I tell you something? The reason we are unhappy is because we are choosing to be unhappy. If you really want to be happy, there is so many reasons to be happy about. The only reason we are unhappy is because we chose unhappiness. How many of you agree to that? So many festivals, isn't it? Right? So it's so many festivals. Every festival is so enlightening. It's so blissful. It gives us so much of happiness, bliss, right? So it's just like, every day is a festival. Every day is a festival. Every day is a new day. Every day is a festival. Just imagine performing a festival at house. Festival, I mean, see, what happens is when it is not Krishna conscious, it becomes material, okay? So let's say if you're playing Holi or whatever, let's say you're playing Holi or maybe even Pongal or any kind of festival, if it is not related with Krishna, what happens? It becomes material because it becomes a little bit sense gratificatory kind of a thing where, like, we are focusing on ourselves rather than on Krishna. I mean, we're not in the mood of serving the Supreme Lord. We are in the mood of enjoying. But then in these festivals, we are trying to serve the Supreme Lord. So, for example, on Janmashtami, it is said that we fast on the whole day. So the devotees are fasting from full day till the night, till the midnight. And then it's not that they're feeling very bad. Oh, I have to, on Janmashtami, I'm not eating anything. Krishna is having so many nice foods. No, they are all enjoying the festival. They're not eating anything, but they're still very happy. Okay. So this is called spiritual consciousness. It's a mood of serving the Supreme Lord. It's a mood of giving. It's not mood of taking. Okay, taking, that's a different kind of festival. I'm not talking about that festivals. I'm talking about the spiritual festival, Krishna conscious festivals. Okay. So these Krishna conscious festivals, we are supposed to do this. Worship the deity at home. Observe the festival. Observe the festival means celebrate it very grandly. Just like how we celebrate our child's birthday, like that or better than that. How would we celebrate marriage of inside in our house? How would we celebrate that? Very grand, very grand. We go crazy. We forget everything. All logics we forget. Actually, that's very materialistic. We should observe festivals of Krishna like that. Okay, we should invite our friends and give prasada. Okay, it's so fulfilling. It gives us a lot of happiness. And Prabhupada is saying the only reason why householders should earn money is for this purpose. It's not for sense gratification. The purpose is to be able to grandly worship the deity at home, observe the festivals of the deities, and invite friends on the festivals to home and give them grand prasadam to eat. Not that we give them some basic khichdi dal, okay, on Janmashtami or any festival. Okay, we should do how many? Do you know there's a specific count of number of items of offerings? Do you remember that? Anybody? Can you put the number? Let me see how many of you know that. It's called something. There's a particular number of items that are offered to Lord Krishna. Type it in the chat. Let me see how many of you know that. 56. That's called Chappan Bhog. Chappan Bhog, right? Chappan Bhog means like 56. It's called royal feast. If you cook 56 dishes, that's a royal feast. That's a feast for the king. So Krishna is the king. Krishna is the supreme proprietor. He is the king. So we are preparing for him and we are offering him. And then after he eating, we are taking. Rajbhog, Chapan same thing. Okay. Chapan Bhog is the count. Rajbhog is the bhog which is offered to deities of the main deities. The main deities of the temple which we offer, no? That is called as Rajbhog. Okay. So, okay. Right. All right. So, we have to observe the festivals and invite friends for this. And then the householder should be earning money for this and not for the sake of sense gratification, because there are two things. One is Krishna consciousness, one is sense gratification. Okay, type KC and SG. KC, comma SG. There are two extremes. Krishna consciousness, sense gratification. If I'm trying to satisfy my senses, it is sense gratification. If I'm trying to satisfy Krishna's senses, it is Krishna consciousness. Simple. Okay, KC and SG. All right. All right, here we go. So here is a very strong statement by Srila Prabhupada. How many of you want Prabhupada's Strong statement. How many of you are ready for that? How many of you like it? Prabhupada strongly punching something. Okay, Prabhupada saying, here is the thing. You must do it. Okay, let's hear this. Okay, I want one of you to read this, please. Please lift your hands. Let me see who is ready to read this. Let's take one, Prabhupada's punch. Please lift your hands and I'll let you allow to talk or type in the chat. And okay. Kalyani Mataji, can you please read this for us? I'm just making it a little bigger. Yes, please. Kalyani Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The deity worship in the temple should be performed especially by the householders. The brahmacharis can go with the sannyasis to preach, and the vanaprastha should prepare themselves for the next status of renounced life, sannyasa. Grahastha devotees, however, are generally engaged in material activities, and therefore, if they do not take to deity worship, their falling down is positively assured. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.23 to 24. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hey, Hari Bol. See, it's
Hari
so
bol.
powerful. It's so powerful. It's a powerful punch. And then Prabhupada is saying, if you are a grihastha and if you're not doing deity worship at home, falling down is positively assured. That means there is no optional fall down. Means it is compulsory. Fall down is compulsory. Spiritual fall down is compulsory for a householder who neglects deity worship, who doesn't do deity worship at home, is sure to fall in devotional service. Okay, you will never be able to go back to God. So such a powerful punch. So that means the householders, type in the chat, householder, HH, type HH, householder. These householders must worship deities at home. That's it, simple. Now, that's fine. Acharya is saying us, Guru is saying as instructions, there must be a logic and reasoning for it also, right? How many of you want to listen or try to understand why? So ask me why in the chat. Type why in the chat. Why should I worship? Why should I do deity worship? Type why in the chat. Ask me why. Why should I worship deities at home? Okay, let's see that. So the reason why we should worship is the benefits are as follows. Okay, here are the benefits. First thing, it rectifies our material conditioning. So householder or grihastha has a special license for sense gratification. The brahmacharis, they are celibates. They do not have means for sense gratification. To understand, the brahmacharis, they stay in the ashram. They don't have the luxury, to sit on their chair, aram se, and take one coffee and sip and read newspaper. Okay, the brahmacharis are working very hard. The vanaprasthas are also a little renounced. And the sannyasis, they are very, very renounced. But the grihasthas, they have so much of comfort at home. Because of these comforts, and sometimes it becomes materialistic. So we become materialistic. What do we become? Materialistic. Because of all the comforts given in that ashram. Okay, you can enjoy this, you can enjoy this, you can enjoy this, you can cook nice food, eat. Okay, children, grandchildren, enjoy. It becomes a little bit too much. So to get rid of that conditioning, okay, that is the material conditioning, which takes us away from spirituality, deity worship helps us. It keeps us pure, positive, and spiritual. The second important reason is you have a daily routine at home. So every day you remember that I have to wake up early in the morning. The reason why I have to wake up early in the morning is because I have to serve the deities. And to serve the deities, I have to keep the plate ready in the night. and I need to buy some flowers in the market. You see, the whole day you're thinking about it. Okay, the deities, I'm supposed to offer something. I'm supposed to offer food to the deities. Every time you'll be remembering about Krishna by having this daily routine at home. Okay, you'll have a routine. Without deity worship, there is no routine at home. Okay. Next thing is you'll start to sense that uh, all the time we'll be thinking that I am the proprietor of the house. Somebody comes and asks you, घर किसका है? मेरा है. हमारा घर है ये. देखो कितना सुंदर है. They'll say like that, right? So this is called sense of proprietorship. It is a first step for fall down. First step for fall down. Thinking that something is mine. Aham mameti. Me and mine. This is mine, that is mine, that is mine, that is mine. And in that sense, actually at the time of death, the house doesn't come with us. Right? So actually, but we become so connected with that house as if like we are born with the house. Okay, so it becomes, so all of this becomes, so to get rid of this condition, we need to get a feeling that this house belongs to Krishna. This house belongs to Jagannath. So if you have a deity at home, this house belongs to Radha Krishna. Who said? I'm just staying here. So if anybody brings the fruits to your house, you will not say, give me the fruits, I will eat it. You will say, okay, give me the fruits. Jagannath ko main offer karunga. Let me offer it to Jagannath. So this mood shifts completely from material to spiritual. How many of you got that? Type GT in the chat. Got that? Okay, when you have deities at home, your mind comes to a sense of proprietorship that, okay, this is not my house. This is Krishna's house, Jagannath's house. Okay, like Lord Nitai's house. It reduces sinful reactions. Okay, if we do deity worship, what happens? Our sinful reactions happen. It's not that Krishna is getting something. Please remember that, okay? I told you the example of a sweet. It's not that the father doesn't have money to buy sweets. Okay, it's the father's sweet. Similarly, the whole world belongs to Krishna. It's not that Krishna wants anything from us, that he's hankering for it, that, when will he give me some food to eat? No, he's giving food to everybody. But then if we offer him with love, he's taking it. Similarly, it's an opportunity for us to remove our sins. Okay, to remove sinful reactions. Type SR in the chat, sinful reactions. Okay, to be able to clean our sinful reactions, we should do deity worship. Okay. The most important point, brings together a family for prayer. You see what we are doing? We are supposed to have the puja room to be very big so that everybody can enter. But unfortunately, due to our conditioning, our puja room is like it's the smallest room. It's smaller than the bathroom also. So we consider that we don't even not ready to give importance as much as we're giving even for a bathroom. So that's the unfortunately medical conditioning. But then what I'm trying to say is, but if you have a proper deity altar, you see a lot of devotees have a very grand altar, beautiful altar, right in front of their houses. They get rid of the TV and all the nonsense that used to be there before they come into devotional life. They just get rid of it. They take the TV and first throw it out. And then they put the beautiful altar there. Okay. And then anybody who enters, they are able to see the wonderful altar. Okay. There's a big, huge altar. And then, you can worship Lord Krishna. Okay. So this is a wonderful thing, because when the evening aarti is happening, all the family will come together. It's a very important point. Okay, all the family will come together, and they can hear the ringing of the bell, and then they can hear the kirtan, and they can take the incense of the smell of that agarbatti. So everybody is in that mood of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so got that? So it's about family. Type family in the chat. So it brings together the entire family. Deity worship pulls everybody towards it. Okay, so it's a very wonderful, powerful activity. Maybe you may be chanting. Sometimes chanting may not be very attractive. The chanting may feel not so attractive. But deity worship is very attractive. Naturally, everybody gets attracted towards deity worship. Okay. Let's go to the next points. We're coming to something really, really interesting now. And what's that? So yeah. So we can offer services to the deity. What kind of services we can offer to the deity? Like bathing. Bathing means abhishek. This is called as abhishekam. Abhishekam means we can, do the holy bathing of the deities. See, Krishna cannot be seen by our material eyes, and therefore he has come in the material form of a stone that we can see. We cannot see Krishna, but Krishna has agreed to be seen in the form of the deities. Okay, now let's go to the next one. So, how many of you knew that deities, there are 8 forms, type 8 in the chat. Deities are of types of 8. 8 type of forms can be worshipped. Okay. You know what are they? The first one is stone. Anybody can give an example of stone deity made up of stone? Tell me any famous Krishna temple where the deity is made up of stone. Krishna temple, Vishnu temple, Udupi, very nice. Ananta Padmanabheshwara temple, Balaji, absolutely right. Okay, that's perfect, Balaji. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Wood. Where did you see a wooden form of Lord Shri Krishna? Let's see who gets it in the chat. Okay, Ram, Ayodhya Ram. That's perfect. That's nice. Vittala. Okay, Vittala is also stone. Perfect. Yes, Jagannath. Jai Jagannath. Okay, Jagannath. So Jagannath is made up of wood. Daru Brahma. Wood. Metal. Okay, sometimes clay. Paint. Paint is just that our photos, whatever we keep in our house, that is also Archa Vigraha. Don't neglect it. Don't think, oh, it's just a photo. It's not a deity. Don't think like that. It's also a proper, you see, it is as authentic as a deity carved in wood or even metal or even stone. Even if you have a picture of Krishna, Krishna can be anywhere. Krishna can be anywhere. Okay. Can we worship Laddu Gopal? Yes. Who are interested in worship Laddu Gopal, you can worship. But generally, in ISKCON, if you ask me, we suggest Radha Krishna and Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai and Gaur Nitai and Nrsimhadev. These are like the common deities. Okay. Laddu Gopal, not in the ISKCON Sampradaya. Less. A lot of devotees keep it, but it's not generally normal. I mean, as per the Sampradaya, it's not. There's nothing wrong in it. Just telling. Okay. Because Laddu Gopal is in the mood of, Vatsalya Bhav, right? So, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us Radha Krishna, Krishna Prema, different mood. That's it. Okay. So now, coming to this, sand and mind and jewels. Okay, you can even worship in the mind also. Okay, you can even make a form inside the mind and worship. These are the 8 forms. Let's go to the next one. So what can we offer Lord Krishna? What are the offerings that we can give him? What is he ready to accept as per the Shastra? So we are all going as per Shastra. Shastra is Vedas. Veda is song of God. That is, God has given these instructions. So we have to follow the instructions of God. If you have to offer to God, we should not try to speculate, okay? It's very easy to speculate and say, God is there everywhere. Why should I put it in front of the deity? Let me put it in the air. Something like that. This is just speculation. Don't do all of this, okay? The Shastras, Krishna is saying, worship me in personal form. And then there is a proper Shastra. Agama Shastra is there. Pancharatrika Vidhi is there. Pancharatrika Vidhi. That means specially how to worship Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Lord Rama, Vishnu Tattva. There's a separate system. Okay. We have to follow the system as per the Vedas. Okay. So then Krishna will accept our offering. Okay, we have to go through the system. So now, what kind of offerings can we give it to the Lord? Of course, Krishna is saying, Patram pushpam phalam toyam. That is, give me a little bit of water, flower, fruit, all of this we can offer. But, sorry. Yeah. So lamp, ghee lamp. Okay, so this is like the lamp. You know, you keep lamps at house. You know, you can put the lamps. You can offer agarbatti. That's called dhupa. Ghee lamp, deepa, conch shell water. You know, you take a small conch shell, put some water inside it, and then worship. That's one type of worship. Wiping with the cloth after bathing, and flowers, offering some flowers, charmer, whisk fan. There's a whisk fan available. Peacock feather fan. This is the process. First, you should light a lamp and you should offer agarbatti 7 times. Ghee lamp, there is a process I will explain later. 4, 2, 3, 7 times. 4 times to the leg, 2 times to the waist, 3 times to the face, and 7 times round. Conch shell 7 times. Wiping 7 times. Flower 7 times. Whisk 2, 3 times. And peacock feather. Okay. This is the way of offering. Maybe sometime we will do this workshop in more detail. So this is a way to offer to Lord Krishna. Okay, and Krishna is ready to accept. Now let's come to something very, very interesting. What is this temple? Yeah, kerchief. Offer without onion and garlic. Yeah, offer any food item without onion and garlic. That's absolutely right. Cloth, kerchief. That's what I said. No, wiping the with cloth, kerchief. That's right. Yes. Jewel from Shamantaka. What other jewel? I don't know, Mataji. I heard there is one deity of Lord Ramachandra which is made up of a jewel. I heard that. It's in one of the Divya Desham, I think. I don't know if some devotee knows, let me know. There is a deity which is made up of jewel, completely made up of jewels. That's a special form. Now let's come to something very interesting. So we spoke about worship at home. Now let's speak about worship at the temple. You see, worship at the home and worship at the temple, the standards will be slightly different. At home, we may not be able to follow that level of standards, but still the rules and regulations have to be followed. Okay. But in the temple, we strictly follow all the standards given in the Shastras. Because the deities which are there in the temple, they're consecrated with the special mantras. And then, it's very important that in a temple, we should follow all the rules 100%. At home also, we should follow. It's not that. But in temple, there are much more things, many more activities. Okay, let us see what all activities are possible. What are these activities? And what are these rules and regulations? What are the benefits that we get by following each of these activity? We'll try to find out right now. Okay. So let us start with the activities. So the first activity is visiting the temple of Lord Krishna. Okay, type in the chat darshan. Type darshan. Simply by taking darshan, simply by going to Lord Krishna's temple, simply I went to ISKCON temple, simply I went to Vrindavan temple, simply I just went. Somehow I was going on the road somewhere. Okay, temple is there, I entered. Darshan. What happens? Benefit. Let's see the benefit. I want some volunteers to read. Who can volunteer to read? Please lift your hands. I have not given you option to lift your hands here. Let me just check. There's no option here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Gomala Mataji. More volunteers, please. I need 2, 3 volunteers. There's a lot of reading here. Yeah. Renuka Mataji. Thank you. I'll unmute you. I'll allow you to talk. One more volunteer. Shukapriya Mataji. Is it possible for you to talk? Siddhi Mataji. Swayam Prabha Mataji. Okay, let's pick 4. Enough for now. Okay. Let's go one by one. So what is the benefit of visiting the temple of Lord Krishna? Let's see that. Okay, can you read this, Komala Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandapana. If a person stays in the Lord's temple even for a few moments, he can surely achieve the transcendental kingdom of God. Naradiya Purana. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So even if you stay for a few moments, you see, that's why they say, when you go to the temple, they say, sit down, sit down. Why do they say sit down? The reason is, when you have come to the temple all the way, just stay there at least for a couple of moments, because even if you stay for a few moments, you can attain the transcendental kingdom of the God that's given in the Naradiya Purana, okay? And another benefit is that, you see, a common man who is unknown to all this spirituality, transcendentalism, this, that, nothing, very common person, came to the temple, darshan, that's all, going back to the Godhead. So that's the reason why. Anybody can read this, please?
Hare Krishna. Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Can I read?
Yeah, please go ahead. Read.
Even common man can attain the highest benediction. Rich men of society must construct beautiful temples and arrange for worship of Vishnu, so that common man gets chance to elevate to the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the reason why we should build, construct temples is this. The reason is, even if a common man comes inside the temple and just takes a little bit of darshan also, he can go back to Godhead. How many of you think that we should all be happy? Type yes in the chat. That we think that, yes, I should be happy. How many of you think that everybody should be happy? Everybody, every common man can be somebody who doesn't know anything about spirituality, anything about Krishna consciousness, just nothing. All his life is just leading a life, doesn't know anything. Somehow came to the temple, went back to God. Everybody must go back, right? So this is the mood. So if somebody is very rich, they should be ready to construct a temple. Okay, because simply by constructing a temple of Lord Vishnu, what happens is, you are giving an opportunity for so many people to become liberated. So that's called compassion. Okay, that's the right usage of the riches. Let's see the next one. That is a visiting of the deity, and let's see this. So what happens when we take the darshan of the deity? Yeah, you can read this. Go ahead. Yes. Anybody? Siddhi Mataji, Renuka Mataji. Renuka Mataji, go ahead, please.
My dear, here no Prabhuji, my dear Vasundhara, any person who goes to Vrindavana and sees the deity of Govinda Deva is free from the courthouse of Yamaraja and is allowed to enter into the highest planetary system in which reside the demigods Varaha Purana.
Yeah, Varapurana is saying anybody who comes to see, goes to Vrindavan and just takes a darshan, just simply taking darshan also, you can go to the heavenly planets. And then they'll be free from all sinful activities. All sinful activities will be gone, wiped off, if somebody gets an opportunity to visit Vrindavan. So that's the importance of taking darshan of the deity. Okay, this is the importance of taking darshan of the deity. Now, let us see all these activities that we do in the temple. Okay, these are the activities that we do in the temple. So what do we do? As soon as we come into the temple, we take the darshan of the Lord and then we bow the deity. Okay, bow before the deity. Okay, I'm not telling the standard procedure of taking darshan. Okay, that's we'll do it some other class. I'm just telling regularly normal person comes to the temple, comes inside the temple, washes their feet, comes inside, takes darshan of the Lord, immediately bows down before the deity. Am I right? Then what happens? If you bow down before Lord Krishna, what happens? Let us see. Swayam Prabha Mataji, can you please read? Okay. Komala Mataji can.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. This block. Okay. A person who has performed a great ritualistic sacrifice and a person who has simply offered his respectful obeisances by bowing down before the Lord cannot be held as equals, as in Nardiya Purana.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mataji. Swayam Prabha Mataji,
Thank
next.
you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, next time. No problem. So what is being said here is, you know,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I couldn't open that.
no worries, no worries, no worries. Next one you can read.
Okay.
So what
Okay,
I'm saying here is, what is being said here is that, you know, if you pay just one obeisances, you see the gents, they fall flat in front of the deity. It's called Ashtanga Pranam. And the ladies, they don't completely fall flat. It's called Panchanga Pranam. And when you do that, you know, when you pay these respectful obeisances, you know what happens? It is better than doing Ashwamedha Yajna also. The great ritualistic sacrifice also better than this. This is better. Bowing in front of Lord Krishna's deity is better than performing a great yajna, which may, I don't know, cost some lakhs of rupees. So why? Why is it being said like that? Because if you do a yajna, the pious result of that yajna can get finished because the reaction is material. You'll get material benefit. But if you bow in front of Krishna, you go to the abode of Krishna. Okay, type in the chat AOK, abode of Krishna. AOK. AOK means abode of Krishna. Type AOK. Okay. So that is the importance of bowing down before the deity. There is one shloka in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, bow down before me. Anybody remembers that? Very famous verse. What's that? Manmana bhava madbhakto
Namaskar.
madhyaji
Namaste.
mam namaskuru. Right? What is
Yes.
Krishna saying? Manmana bhava. Manmana bhava, always think of me. Okay? Doesn't require a deity. Of course, you can remember the deity. Mad bhakto, become my devotee. Mad yaji means worship me. How do you worship Krishna without deity? Not possible. Mam namaskuru. How will you pay obeisances without the deity? So manmana bhava, madbhakto, madhyaji, mam namaskuru. 3 items of the 4 require deity. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? How important is deity? Got it? Very important. Okay, let's see this. So that's why Krishna is saying, worship me and bow in front of me. So every time you bow in front of the God, don't think, oh, I have to do it once more. No, come on. We are ready to do it, right? So we are ready to do Surya Namaskar. Isn't it? 21 times, 30 times, 40 times. What is the difficulty? Bowing in front of Krishna, right? So, you know, the 6 Goswamis, they used to have a count. Every day, I will pay 1,000 times, 10,000 times, like that. Even in Vrindavan also, there will be so many devotees who will be paying obeisances and they'll not walk. They will only pay obeisances and obeisances one after the other, one after the other. That is how they do parikrama for 21 kilometers. So, if we do couple of times, nothing will go wrong. Everything is good for us. We'll go back to Godhead. So always bow down before the deity of Krishna. Next, circumambulating the temple of Vishnu. Okay, let us see that. What is a circumambulating? Means pradakshina. Okay, yeah, let's see this. Renuka Mataji, can you read this?
Okay, Prabhuji. A person who is circumambulating the deity of Vishnu.
Can I, Prabhuji?
Oops, sorry. Who wanted to read? Swayam Prabha Mataji.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Okay. Swayam Prabha Mataji, can you read? I'm sorry.
Afterwards, I'll read. Let Mataji complete it, Prabhuji.
I'm
She
sorry.
has started.
Yeah.
No,
Yes,
no,
yes.
she has started. Let her complete,
go ahead,
Prabhuji.
go ahead.
Later, the next one I'll read.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. A person who is circumambulating the deity of Vishnu can counteract the circumambulation of repeated birth and death in this material world. Hari Bhakti Subhodaya.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So the thing is, what is being said here is, see, circumambulation is pradakshina. Means around the temple you go three times round. At least 3 times you should go around. Okay. If you go 3 times round, you don't have to go round and round. Material again, birth and death, birth and death. You'll come out of that circle if you circle around Krishna. Got it? Okay. All right. Type in the chat. Circle means circumambulate. Go around Krishna. Okay. All right. Deity worship. Yes, Mataji. Please read. Swayam Prabha Mataji, kindly read this.
Yes, Prabhuji. Vishnu, that is the one, right?
Yeah. Simply by worshipping Krishna. This one. No, not that.
There's
This one.
a black line for the second line, Prabhuji. Now it moved to the first one. Now it is correct, yeah. Simply by worshipping Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya, simply by worshipping Krishna, one can easily achieve all the results of heavenly opulence, liberation, supremacy over the planetary systems of the universe, all the opulences of this material world, and the mystic power of performing the yoga system. Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad Prabhuji.
Thank you. So simply by worshipping Lord Krishna, you can achieve anything. If you worship Krishna, you can achieve anything. Deity worship is so powerful, so powerful, so powerful. If you want to go to heavenly planets, you will get it. If you want liberation, you'll get it. If you want to become the Indra, you'll become. If you want to get the opulences of the entire world, you'll get it. If you want Ashtasiddhi, you'll get it. Everything you can get. That is the power of deity worship. That is so powerful. Okay. This is so powerful, extremely powerful. Okay. Now let us see Aarti. So we all know Aarti, right? When we show Aarti, when the Aarti is being shown to Lord Krishna, if you happen to see that Aarti, for example, I was showing you, right? In the YouTube, I was playing that Aarti and we were all watching Aarti just before I started the class, right? So what's the power of this? Okay, let's see this. All right. You can read this. Siddhi Mataji, can you read? Siddhi Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, read this, please.
Black square that has, yeah, okay. If someone sees the face of the Lord while Aarti is going on, he can be relieved of all sinful reactions coming from many thousands and millions of years past. He is even excused from the killing of a Brahmana or similar prohibited activities. Skanda Purana. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Did you see that? Thank you very much. Did you see that? Did you see everybody? Simply, if you see the face of Lord when Aarti is going, when the Aarti is being shown in his face, and if you just see his face, all the sinful activities which are accumulated from many thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years and millions of years of past, all are gone. That's the power of Aarti. Okay. Now, what happens when you smell the incense or the flowers offered to the deity? You see, what is the best thing about entering inside the temple? As soon as you enter inside the Krishna temple, the ISKCON temple, you see a very nice fragrance, very nice scent will be coming, right? See, at the moment, I'm not able to smell anything. I just came out of some cold and I'm not able to smell anything at the moment. But when you go inside a temple, you get a very beautiful smell, right? So what is that smell? Let's just see this, okay? What happens when you take the smell? Okay, I want one volunteer here, please. Yeah.
Shall I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. When the devotees smell the good flavor of the incense which is offered to the deity, they thus become cured of the poisonous effects of material contamination, as much as one becomes cured of a snake bite by smelling the prescribed medicinal herbs, as in Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Now, this Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya is coming from a Vedic scripture called Naradiya Purana. Okay, it's given by Narada. to Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj. So the thing is, traditional Indian medicine, where for a snake bite, they make you sniff some medicinal herbs, and then that counteracts the poison. I mean, this is a working system. It's not there right now. Even in the villages also, right now, even villages also, even now they cure the snake bites with these kind of remedies. They are working from thousands of years. We cannot say it doesn't work because it's working from thousands of years. So just by just smelling these herbs, how our poison is going outside the body. Similarly, if you take the smell of the flower garland offered to Krishna and smell it, or the incense, agarbatti smell offered to Krishna, if you smell it, the poison of materialism will go from our body. Okay, that's the benefit. Now let us see some more activities. Rendering service in the temple. How many of you like to render service in the temple? Type me in the chat. How many of you love doing some service in the temple? If you're given a chance in the Balaji temple that you will be loving to serve, okay, what if you're given a chance to stand maybe in the front of just in front of Balaji? Okay, let's say, would you be very happy? Right? So what if you're given a service of maybe creating a garland, or I don't know, cooking for Krishna, cutting vegetables, so many wonderful services, right? Rendering the service in the temple, right? Beautiful. Okay, let's see this. Who can read this? Okay, I'll give chance to Priyamai Kunti Mataji. Can you please read? Priyamai Kunti Mataji? Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, is it a black spot?
Yeah. I'll just touch it.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji. Go ahead.
Any person who can arrange for service to the Lord in the same way that a king is given service by his attendants is surely elevated to the abode of Krishna after death. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, absolutely. You know how we are supposed to serve the deity? You should not think that, oh, deity is just a deity. No. You should think that this is the king. Okay, just like how king is there, how you will a king and palace, how will you take care of the king in a palace? Like that, you should take care of the deity. We all know that deity is made up of stone. It's not that we are blind. We know it. But we, with a faith, we consider this as same as Krishna. With faith, we consider same as Krishna. We don't see difference between Krishna and his deity. That is the concept. But with the influence of the Kali Yuga, there is so much of atheism that people are asking some nonsensical questions on movies. How many of you heard these movies, right? If God is, why God needs milk to be put on his, on his head, take it and give it to the poor people, some crazy stuff, right? So why does God needs to be put so many ornaments on his body? God needs to be put because it is said in the Shastra. It is said in the Shastra, it is an opportunity for us to serve. If we serve Krishna like a king in the palace, we can go back to Godhead. We can get rid of the cycle of birth and death. By listening to a film actor and his advices, we cannot go out of this cycle of birth and death. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes. They can ramble and they can give us some nonsensical explanations for so many years. Right? So first of all, we should ask this question. That, okay, they're saying, why are you spending that money on the milk for Krishna? Why don't you spend the money to give it to the poor? Then the same question, why should I spend my money to watch your nonsense movie? I'll use it for something else, right? And outside Krishna's temple, there's so many beggars, right? And all the devotees who are coming out, they will give money out of compassion. But outside the mall, watching this fellow's movie, nobody gives any money to the beggars on the street. Do you see that difference? That means after seeing darshan of Krishna, you feel compassionate. You feel that I want to give something. That's why beggars are there. Outside malls, beggars won't be there because people are not compassionate after seeing this fellow's face. You getting it? Okay. This is the thing. Okay, this deity worship, everything is perfect process. This is all given. See, these are so many activities are there. We saw the visiting, darshan, bowing down, circumambulation, pradakshina, deity worship, arati, smelling the incense, rendering service. So many Matajis, Prabhujis are doing so many services in ISKCON. Okay, not only ISKCON, all the temples of the world, they're doing it. So how are they doing? What are the kind of services that they're doing? So sometimes we see that they're preparing dough for the chapati or for puri, or they're making the puris, or they're frying the puris, or they're cutting the vegetables, they're cleaning the temple, they're doing the flowers, so many, washing the vessels. See, so many services are going on just because of the temple. Why should we believe this nonsense atheism kind of a modern we should completely reject it. Okay, so let's just hear this Sankirtan in the temple. So what is the benefit of doing Sankirtan? Let's see that. Okay, all right, who can read this?
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
There is a black. Okay. A person who chants the holy name of Krishna once can counteract the resultant actions of more sinful activities than he is able to perform. Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Do you know what that means? Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. That means simply by chanting Krishna's name once, singing the names of Krishna Sankirtan once, you'll get so much of pious credit that there is no sinful reaction which can equal to that. I mean, you can try the most abominable activities also. That is not equivalent of chanting of one name of Krishna. Only one. That doesn't mean, however, that we want to try it now. It's just for us to understand the power of name of Krishna. It is so powerful that there is no sinful reaction which is equivalent of, which cannot be cleansed by one name of Krishna. That's the point, okay? So chanting Sankirtan in the temple, this is a beautiful activity, okay? In the Jagannath Mandir, it's a beautiful Sankirtan that happens all the time. Okay, next, dancing before the deity. Sometimes we get this doubt. Why should we dance in front of the deity? How many of you got a doubt that why are people in ISKCON dancing? Type me in the chat. Right, we get this doubt. So for the first time I saw, I was like a little surprised. What's going on here? So why is everybody dancing? Temple is a place we are supposed to come, sit down and meditate. But people here are dancing. Why the dance? See, that's a speciality. That's a Krishna's temple. See, it's the culture of Vrindavan. How many of you have been to Vrindavan? Yeah, ecstasy, that's right. How many of you have been to Vrindavan? Type me in the chat. So in Vrindavan, if you go to any temple, Barsana, any temple, Raval, they are always dancing. Banke Bihari temple. So this is like the culture of Krishna temples. It's like that only. That devotees dance in front of the deities for the pleasure of Krishna. It is a happiness. It is a pleasure of I'll tell you, there was one friend of mine who was asking me, atheistic friend, he was just jokingly trying to pull my leg. He was asking me, what is the difference between people who are drunk, who are dancing, and you people, devotees, who are dancing in front of the Lord? So I told him, the difference is this, that when it's raining, okay, the peacocks, they come out and they dance. These are the devotees. Okay. Okay. And you see, in a filthy place, there are some pigs which would like to dance. So that is these drunkards. So that's the difference, I said. Okay. So devotees are like the peacocks who are naturally very happy to dance. Okay, they just want, when they see the rain cloud, they become so happy that they dance. Okay, that's their expression of happiness. Reciting notable prayers. Okay, so then let's see this. Who can read this? Kalyani Mataji, would you like to read this? Kalyani Mataji, I think I should allow her to talk. Yeah, Mataji, can you read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. A person who chants the holy name of Krishna once can counteract the resultant actions of more sinful activities than he is able to perform. Nrsimha Purana.
Okay, thank you. We covered this. So it's important to recite notable prayers. It's very important, especially when you sing these prayers from Bhagavatam and very nice Srimad Bhagavatam. They're very, very beautiful shlokas like Kunti prayers, Bhishma Stuti, etc. They're very nice. Okay. Now let's see Ratha Yatra. Okay. How many of you been to Ratha Yatra? Type me in the chat. Ratha Yatra. How many of you been to Ratha Yatra? You see, Ratha Yatra is a special festival where there is a chariot of the Lord. Okay. And then this chariot is on the wheels. And then, you have to pull this with the ropes. We have to pull that with the ropes. Okay. So we have to pull that with the ropes. So then you see this Ratha Yatra is a very special festival because Krishna is coming out of the temple. Because, why Krishna is coming out of the temple? Can anybody tell me why Krishna is coming out of the temple? It's a very funny answer, actually. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, to meet his
Hare Krishna
devotees.
Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Yes, tell me.
To meet his devotees, Prabhuji.
Yeah, to meet his devotees. That's nice. The second thing is, people of Kali Yuga, they are so busy. They're so busy that they don't have time for their best friend, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is saying, Suhridam Sarvabhuteshu. Krishna is the best friend for every living entity. So, best friend, if you don't have time for me, I have time for you. You're not ready to come to the temple to see me. I am going to come out of the temple to see you. That is Krishna's mercy. You see that? People of Kali Yuga, they don't have time to enter inside the temple. They're so busy. So Krishna is saying, okay, you cannot come. That's fine. You just stay where you are. I will only come on the street. At least then you'll be able to see. That's the mercy of Lord Krishna. Okay, so that's Ratha Yatra. So this Ratha Yatra, what is the benefit of this Ratha Yatra? Let us see this. Anybody can read this?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I read?
Hare Krishna Mataji, go ahead.
Even if born of a lowy family, a person who follows the Ratha Yatra path, when the deities pass in front or from behind, will surely be elevated to the position of achieving equal opulence with Vishnu. Bhavishya Purana. Hare Krishna.
This is such a beautiful verse with saying, you see, there has always been some kind of discrimination. You see, sometimes the outcast people, they're not allowed to come inside the temple. We have seen this kind of incidents happening in all over the country, right? It was like Ramanujacharya, who for the first time allowed everybody to enter inside the temple. It's not Mahatma Gandhi or anybody. It's Ramanujacharya 1000 years back who said anybody can come and visit the temple. Okay. So, but then even if in such a case where there is some kind of discrimination and they're not allowed to come inside, Krishna is so merciful that even if like somebody is coming there and just simply, even if you follow that Ratha, forget about anybody, just if you're just on the road and if Ratha is going and if you're able to just simply follow the Ratha, don't go anywhere. Okay. Don't go. If you see the Ratha, immediately stop doing your work. Immediately. Just get down, go near the Ratha, follow the Ratha. There is nothing more urgent than that Ratha. Please remember this. Okay, in your life, when you see a Ratha of Lord Krishna on the streets, stop all your activities. Nothing is going to go anywhere. Just follow the Ratha Yatra. Because it is said here in the Bhavishya Purana that anybody who is following the Ratha, they will be elevated to opulence equal to Lord Vishnu. This is very, very important. Okay. So okay, type Haribol in the chat. Haribol! Such a wonderful Ratha Yatra ki jai. Jagannath Ratha Yatra ki jai. Type Haribol in the chat. Now is the most favorite thing in the temples. What's the most favorite thing that we look forward for when we go to Balaji temple, or when we go to Krishna's temple, or when we go to any Lord Vishnu's temple? The most favorite thing is the prasadam. Okay, the most special, sweetest tasting prasadam is this, partaking the prasadam. You know, simply by taking prasadam, what happens? Let us see. Let's see what happens. Somebody takes prasadam. Okay, Swayam Prabha Mataji, requesting you to read, please.
Yes, Prabhuji. Dancing before the deity, reciting notable prayers, Ratha Yatra.
No, 1 minute. I think it has not reflected. Are you able to see this? A person who honors the prasada. Are you able to see that? Maybe there's a little bit of lag possible. Okay, let me just share it once more. Is it better? Yeah, stop sharing, share, and share. Are you able to see a person who honors the prasada? Swayam Prabha Mataji. Yeah, Swayam Prabha Mataji, can you unmute yourself? Okay. I'll request somebody else. Kalyani Mataji, can you please?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, there is, okay. Hare Krishna. A person who honors the prasada and regularly eats it, not exactly in front of the deity, along with Charanamrita, immediately can achieve the results of the pious activities that are obtained through 10,000 performances of sacrificial rites. Padma Purana. Hare Bol.
Haribol. So the thing is, see, eating prasadam is also such a nice activity. So only thing is, we should not eat in front of the deity. It is not etiquette to eat in front of the deity. But if you take the Tirtha Prasada, you immediately get a benefit of doing 10,000 Ashwamedha Yajna. 10,000 Ashwamedha Yajna. That's not a normal number. Okay, it's a very big number simply by taking prasad. Okay. So you see so many wonderful activities going on in a temple. By visiting the temple, so many benefits are there. Darshan of the temple, benefits are there. Bowing down in front of the Lord, circumambulation, the benefits are there. Deity worship, arti, taking the smell of the incense or flowers, rendering little bit of service in the temple. There's so much of benefit. Sankirtan, dancing in front of the Lord, reciting prayers, Ratha Yatra, partaking prasadam, celebrating the festivals. So many wonderful things. Okay. Now let us see something very interesting. Okay, offenses. Because we cannot complete this chapter of deity worship without speaking about the regulations, the do's and the don'ts. You see, deity worship is not like chanting. Okay, chanting, there are no rules. Nam nam akari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smaranera kalaha. There is no restriction for chanting of the holy names of Krishna. But deity worship is not like that. We are just following the Shastras. Please don't ask me why. Okay, I don't have the exact answer. I may not be able to answer because these are all Krishna's instructions coming from the Vedas. That as far as deity worship is concerned, it is to be done very carefully within the rules and regulations. There are so many don'ts. So we'll go through all of them so that you will remember this, especially when you go to the temple. Please remember this and try to avoid these kind of mistakes. Mistakes to be avoided in a temple. Let's go. 21 mistakes. Very interesting. One should not go to see the deity without any offering. Come on. First point. First point on a new point. Don't go to the deity without any offering. Khali haath aaye the, hum khali haath jayenge. Don't do in front of the temple. Don't do that. Okay. Temple means don't go khali haath. Take some flowers. Take some fruit. Take some tulsi. Offer it to Krishna. Never go like that, empty-handed in front of the Guru and in front of deity. You should not go like that. It's not. It's wrong. Okay. It doesn't have to, you don't have to take one golden ornament. It can be, of course, if you are so rich, you can, because there's some people in Balaji temple, they even give one golden kirita also. Okay, that is their offering. Okay, whatever you can offer. If you want to offer a tulsi leaf, you offer tulsi leaf. If you want to offer a diamond, what do you say, helmet to Lord, you can offer that also. Depends. Or you can offer very humble flower, fruit, little bit fruit, water, rice flour, something you can take for Krishna and offer. Okay. Don't enter the house, temple without washing hands and feet. Please wash your hands and feet outside, enter the temple. This is obvious. We all know this. Don't enter with the temple with shoes on the feet. Avoid bowing. One should not avoid bowing down before the devotee, the deity. That means, like this, I came in front of the deity and I'm saying like this as if for some sightseeing and I'm going. We should not do that. We should bow down. First bow down. First bow down. First step is bow down. Once one foreigner came and he was looking at Radha Krishna deities like this. Then Prabhupada called him. What are you doing? He said, okay, I'm just saying. He said, okay, bow down. Prabhupada said, bow down. He said, no, I'm not feeling like bowing down. Prabhupada said, you bow down first, then you will get the bowing down, you will get the feeling of bowing down. You first bow down. Then he first bowed down immediately. So it's like that. As soon as we see the deity, it's as good as seeing the Supreme Lord. We must immediately bow down. One should not enter the temple without having washed hands after eating. Juta. I ate some chips. Okay, and my chips are like this in my hand. I'm going inside the temple. No, everybody knows this. Okay, no need to say this. Basic things. One should not enter a temple in a contaminated state due to death of a relative. This is called as, I don't know what they call it, ashaucha. Right? Different words are there for this. So during that contaminated state, we should avoid going. But some people say, don't go for 1 year. That's not true. Let me kindly correct this myth that after the death of a relative, don't go to a temple for 1 year. I don't know who has created that, but they're simply creating havoc and nonsense. That's absolutely wrong. Okay. It's not for 1 year for sure. It is less than that. Okay. It's generally maximum 1 month for some people. For some people, it's 11 days or 15 days or something like that. Okay. Definitely not 1 year. Okay. Don't follow that. At least for Krishna's temple, it is not applicable. One should not spread his legs before the deity. You know, sitting like this, aram, say legs are facing the deity. No. One should not lie down before the deity of Krishna. Wrong. Should not lie down before them. One should not speak a lie before the deity. You know, Sakshi Gopal temple, you know, that's why in the earlier days, they used to ask people to vow in front of the deity. So they'll bring in front of deity of Lord Krishna and then they will say, okay, tell the truth. Then because, you know, they're seeing the deity, they cannot tell the lie. They'll tell the truth. So it's a basic etiquette. We should not say a lie in front of the deity. One should not chastise anyone before the deity. So difficult. It's so difficult, right? Especially when we are doing, when we become advanced, so-called advanced devotees, what happens? We start finding faults. Then we start shouting, hey, stop it. What is it? What? So this kind of mentality will start inside us. Okay, we should avoid this. When shouting in front of the deity, chastising others, what is this? We're trying to, we should tell slowly, calmly. Okay, very important. Remember this. Please be kind, please be nice with all the new devotees. Everybody is a devotee, everybody is equal. Treat everybody nicely. So don't chastise anybody in front of the deity. One should not worship the deity. One should not fail to worship the deity according to one's means. Means according to your own means, you should worship. If you cannot afford to bring anything, that's fine. According to your means, you just bring some flower, enough. But if you can worship very nicely, you must bring grandly and you should give some grand offering to the Lord. It's not that, because Krishna is very intelligent. He's intelligence of the intelligent. He knows exactly what is in everybody's capacity. So we should worship him according to our capacity. Okay. One should loudly recite the prayers of the spiritual master while offering obeisances. We should not think that, oh, I'm in front of Krishna, I'm not supposed to say to Prabhupada. Wrong. We should say loudly, Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Loudly you recite the prayers of Guru. Actually, if you don't loudly glorify Guru, Krishna becomes very angry first. Because Guru is the representative of Krishna. Means Krishna himself comes in the form of Guru. So when the Guru is there, when Guru must be glorified in front of Krishna. We must glorify Prabhupada. We should not say softly, Prabhupada ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We should loudly shout. That's very important. Okay? One should not enter the temple without first making a sound. It's just like, entering a room, you just do knock, knock, tick, 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 may I come in? Something like that. When you're entering the temple, just do a clap of sound. Sometimes there's a bell outside the temple, ring the bell and go inside. And at least clap, make some sound and go. Don't just go like that. Something new. I'm sure some of you have heard it for the first time. Useless flowers without fragrance should not be offered. Please stop this. Useless flowers looking beautiful doesn't make any sense. They are not supposed to be offered, not supposed to be offered. That's it. The flower should have fragrance. If you can find a flower with fragrance, please offer. Avoid offering flowers without fragrance. One should not fail to strictly follow the rules and regulations in worshipping the deity. Deity worship means rules and regulations. So anybody taking to deity worship, 100% must follow the rules. If they are not capable of following the rules, they must not bring deity in their house and unnecessarily invoke new troubles. Trouble means nothing. Seva aparadha will happen. That's all. Offenses. We should not keep on doing offenses. If you're not so sure, keep a photograph at home and chant Hare Krishna. Okay. Don't jump into the deities and get them at home very enthusiastically, bringing Radha Krishna to home and not offering anything to Radha Krishna, not offering anything, not observing the festival, not doing anything, not following rules, regulations. Don't do this. No, please don't do this. Don't be angry within the temple. This happens all the time. Okay, it's very difficult. I mean, we may have our devotional service, but then being in the temple, continuously being there, there's some devotees who are serving there for a long time and they have to do their duty. Sometimes they get irritated. They're normal. I mean, just like they're in the normal routine, they get angry. But we should be very mindful that it's an offense. Within the temple, you are serving. Don't become angry, please. Please keep your anger outside the temple, not inside the temple. This is Krishna's palace. One should not worship the Lord while sitting on the bare floor. They must put a sitting place or carpet. Even at your home, if you're worshipping, don't sit on the bare floor. Put some mat and then worship. Okay. One should not touch the deity without taking bath. Without taking bath, simply going, touching the deities, not being very clean, touching the deities. All this is wrong, should not be done. Another thing, one should not take a vow in the name of God. Going in front of the deity and saying, I'm doing a promise that I'll do this. This is all wrong. It's offensive actually. To go in front of the deity and to take a promise. Okay, I'm taking a promise in front of you like that. Or say, see, I'm giving I mean, not like that. This is something, it's like they say God promise or something like that. It's slightly different. I'm saying in anger, trying to do something like that. Yeah, if you don't give me, I'll show you what I'll do. God, I mean, trying to twist God. This is all very childish and it's actually an offense. So just remember what is our position, what is God's position. We should not try to play like a small child in front of the deities. Okay, it's offensive. So these are all the offenses to be avoided. Okay. So now coming to the final part, practical application. Okay, practical application. How do we apply all of this that we have learned? Right? So how do we understand that? Now I would like to just hear from you. What is your favorite Krishna temple? Just tell me that. What's your favorite temple? Type in the chat. Okay, so I am Brahma Mataji is unable to talk. I'll check. Type in the chat. What is your favorite ISKCON temple? Whatever favorite Balaji temple, Ranganath temple, any temple, just put it in the chat. Tirupati temple. ISKCON Kuala Lumpur. Jai. Very nice. Amazing, amazing. Guruvayur, Udupi, Sheshadripuram, Magadi. Amazing. Very nice. Let's see some practical applications now. So what are we supposed to do? What did we learn from this? So I'll wrap up with this. What we have learned is, we've seen various things about the deity worship, and it all boils down to this. How do you practically do deity worship is like this. Every day morning, attend Mangalarti at home. Mangalarti is performed at Brahma Muhurta at 4:30 a.m. So at the morning 4:30 a.m. means you should wake up at least by 3:30. Okay, and you should either you attend it or perform it. If you can perform it, it is better. If you cannot perform it, at least attend it. That's why we say online sessions, we say online, please come and attend. But I will say, as you are advancing in devotional service, you try to do it at home. Do it at home, okay? Perform or attend. There's no third option. Either perform or attend. There's no one, only 1 and 2. There's no 3, okay? Offer food to Krishna and eat prasadam. So have a photo, Radha Krishna photo, offer the food and eat only prasadam. Okay, don't eat anything. Visit ISKCON temple on Sundays and celebrate the festivals in the temple. Why Sundays? I'll tell you. Sunday, there's a special feast that happens in every ISKCON temple. That's why visit the ISKCON temple on Sundays. Sunday morning is the best time. Celebrate festivals in the temple, Ram Navami, Janmashtami, all that. This is also a compulsory. If anybody does not celebrate a festival, like Janmashtami is going on and I'm just simply sitting doing nothing, that's actually an offense. We must celebrate. Okay, so we should go to the temple and celebrate. See, such a nice, merciful Lord, God is saying, if you don't come here and enjoy the prasadam, it's an offense. How many of you like this? It's so nice. He's saying, don't sit and rot. He's saying, come and enjoy. Say, come and enjoy. He's saying, enjoy. If you don't enjoy, it's an offense. So this is enjoyment. Anand Dambudi Vardhana. So it's a very wonderful thing, right? So we should not neglect any festival, especially Krishna conscious festival, and we should not sit moodily, gloomily, thinking about our material situation. We should just celebrate the festival of the Lord, because that is more important than our situation. Our situation comes and goes. Our situation is not so important. Participate the Ratha Yatra festival. Okay, so this is the last part. So Ratha Yatra festival is also coming very soon. Everybody participate in that. Okay. So we have come towards the end of this class. Hare Krishna, all of you. Thank you very much for joining. There's just one announcement that I would like to make to all of you. This Saturday, we are doing Shiksha program, Shraddhavan and Krishna Sevak. For those of you who are not chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, please start chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Take Shraddhavan, 1 round chanting Hare Krishna. I would like all of you, I want to ensure that I would like all of you to take up at least 1 round. If you're chanting 1 round, great. You should have Shraddhavan certificate. If you're already chanting 1 round, if you have Shraddhavan, please upgrade to 4 rounds. Please go to Krishna Sevaka. We should go step by step closer to Krishna. Step by step towards Krishna. If you put 1 step towards Krishna, Krishna puts 100 steps towards you. Okay? Shraddhavan, next is Krishna Sevak. Please take the 4 round chanting. So this Saturday, that is on 13th, we are doing the program. Okay? That's it. And I would like to just hear from you. What are your realizations? You can unmute and just tell me, what is it that you have learned today? What did you learn? What is one thing that's just in your mind? Unmute and tell me.
Very neatly explained from nursery class how they explain it. So you've taken a lot of, just people who don't know anything, they can learn from here. You have gone from the basics, and very nice, because everybody can learn. Those who have not done Bhakti Seva, so they can learn. And I have a doubt. I bought a lot of small, beautiful garlands for Laddu Gopal. Mataji said, if you're doing daily Abhishek and Puja, you should not use this artificial malas. Is it so? So I'm not using it now. I've just kept
That's
it aside. Is it correct? Okay. We are not
That's right.
supposed to.
That's right, Mataji. We are not supposed to use artificial ones. We should use the original flower garlands.
Original, I do that, but out of love, I bought some to change every day. Now I'm not using. So I just wanted to recheck with you. Thank
That's
you.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji. Thank you.
Prabhuji, flower garlands or that artificial jewelry?
Artificial jewelry is fine. Mataji talking about
Okay.
artificial flower garland. So artificial jewelry is no need to change.
Artificial, Prabhuji, I said artificial small garlands. That
Garlands, right?
can we use everyday change one? Mataji said no. That's why I checked with somebody. She said,
Yes.
no, you're not supposed to put anything artificial. Then whatever I
You
bought,
mean
it's all like
ornaments?
that.
Okay, I don't know about the ornaments, but flower part, I can say that it is, don't need to make a flower garland. Even if one flower is there, single flower also is better. That's enough.
Yes,
One
yes.
flower is also enough. You can put a flower. That's also good. Better. It's not like don't do it. It's better.
Yeah.
Preferably, this is better. Yeah, I agree. Anybody has any other questions? Generally, people have a lot of questions in this. I understand. Yes.
It looks very nice, Prabhuji, with the garland. So I put it, but on that I put the tulsi or some flower. It looks very beautiful on the Krishna's photo to put the garland. So every day I cannot change it. So I offer one flower and tulsi on that
Sure.
artificial garland only.
Okay.
Prabhuji, can we do Archana, 108 names of Lord Krishna?
Yes, you can. Why not?
I'm
Absolutely, you
doing
can do.
for many years, so I just want
You can absolutely do 108 names of Krishna. Why not?
I'm doing flowers.
Definitely.
Thank you.
With flowers, you can do. Any other questions? All right. Any other comments? What did you learn today? Yes. Valarvati Mataji, Naresh Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
How to perform Archana properly according to the Shastra.
Yeah, according to Shastra. Yes, yes. I didn't go too detailed. I just gave a little bit high level overview. Yeah, that's right. Nice. Hare Krishna, Gangai Prabhu, Indra Haridas Mataji, what did you learn?
There's a lot of I learned because every day I am also doing, but apart from so much impression, I noted down whatever you said, noted down, right? I will correct it in future. I am very humble obeisances to you, Prabhuji. I am very much grateful to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hare Krishna,
So
Kalyani Mataji.
every day, and we are offering flour, water, milk, and then tulsi, and these are of course Archana also. Hare Krishna, this Maha Mantra, one round, and then this Archana, this Krishna Archana also, what I'm doing. Of course, I'm very much pleased to that. So I got time and I'm doing this. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So much impressed about your lot of today. I learned about how to perform the puja.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Very
wonderful.
very kind.
Thank you so much, dear devotees. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to glorify Lord Krishna, remember Krishna. Yes, Valarmati Mataji is saying we offer rose and tulsi and water to Krishna. Jai Haribo. That's so nice. Krishna likes tulsi and Prabhupada likes rose. Very nice. Krishna likes tulsi water. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear devotees. See you
Hare
again day after tomorrow.
Dandavat pranams. Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
pranams.
Thank you very much. Hare
Yes.
Thank you,
Dandavat
Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.